All right, let's talk about confidence. Not the fake kind, but the real, lasting stuff. We're going to look at why the advice you always hear doesn't really work, and then walk through two super powerful ways to build genuine confidence from the ground up. So I'm sure you've heard this a million times, right? Just fake it till you make it. It's the go-to advice for pretty much everything. And look, maybe it works for a minute, gets you through a tough meeting or something, but it's not a real long-term plan. Why? Well, because you've got this fakeness battery and it runs out.
Yeah, the big problem here is that pretending to be something you're not, it just sucks up so much mental energy. And here's the kicker. We're already pretending all the time in our everyday lives, probably more than we even think.
I mean, just think about it for a second. You pretend to be super interested in your coworkers' vacation photos. You whip out your phone and act busy just to avoid a conversation. You check your calendar that you know is empty. Heck, maybe you even pretend you shower every single day. The point is, our fakeness battery is practically on empty before we even try to fake being confident.
Okay, so if faking it is a dead end, what's the alternative? Well, you build the real thing. And just like building a house, you gotta start by knowing where you're building. We need to figure out where you are right now on what I'm gonna call the confidence scale.
So picture this scale, right? On one extreme end, you've got that crushing self-doubt. The voice that tells you not to even try. And way over on the other end, you've got straight-up arrogance, where you're not listening to anyone and you think you know it all. Obviously, you don't want to live on either of those extremes. But here's a really interesting thought. The goal isn't to be perfectly in the middle. Not at all. It's really about what you value. Are you someone who likes to play it safe and calculate every move? Or are you all about moving fast and taking risks? Your ideal spot on that scale depends on that answer. Okay, so that kind of begs the question, right? How did we even land on our specific spot on this scale in the first place? It's not like it's random. It's actually a story, your story, that's been written over your entire life.
Think about it. We all start out way high on that confidence scale. As babies, we're fearless. We don't know what insecurity is. But then life happens. We get negative feedback, we have those super embarrassing moments in middle school, and all of those experiences are like little data points that slowly move us down the scale, building these deep-seated beliefs about what we can and can't do.
And what you end up with is this incredibly powerful personal list, your I can't list. I can't be good at sports. I can't be funny. I can't be a leader. And the scary part is, these stop feeling like just thoughts. They start to feel like hard, undeniable facts about who you are.
This is where it gets really tricky. These beliefs create this nasty, self-fulfilling loop. It starts with a negative belief, like no one likes me. So what happens? You don't try to meet new people. And when you don't try, you don't make new friends, which, surprise, surprise, proves that your original belief was true all along. It's a total trap.
So that's the bad news. We get stuck in this powerful self-reinforcing loop. But the good news? We can absolutely break it. So let's get into two really practical ways to start rebuilding real, earned confidence.
All right, we've got two main methods on the table. Method one is reprogramming your mind. Think of this as the inside job. It's about changing your mental software. Method two is doing the impossible. This is the outside job. It's all about going out into the world and collecting cold, hard proof that you're wrong about yourself. Let's dive into method one, reprogramming. Now, this idea is heavily based on a fascinating old book called Psychocybernetics. The author was a surgeon, and he noticed that our minds act like a guided missile system, always trying to hit the target of our self-image. So if your self-image is negative, you got to reprogram the target. So how do you actually do this? First, you got to pinpoint that negative loop we talked about. Then, and this is important, you have to consciously reject the evidence that supports it. So what if some kid called you clumsy in third grade? That's not real evidence. Then comes the magic. You visualize yourself succeeding, and I mean vividly. You do it over and over with so much detail that you actually start to confuse your brain. It starts to think you've already done it, which makes it way easier to actually take that first step.
Okay, but what if all that visualization stuff feels a little, I don't know, a bit too out there for you? No problem. There's another way, a much more direct, action-oriented method. And we're calling it doing the impossible.
The concept here is actually super simple. You make a list of things that you know are physically possible. I mean, other people do them all the time, but they just feel totally impossible for you. We're talking about things that are on your personal I can't list, like waking up at 4:30 in the morning or running 6 miles.
And then you just do one of them. That's it. You pick one, put it on your calendar, and you go out and prove yourself wrong. It's going to be tough, for sure. Your brain is going to fight you every step of the way, telling you to quit. But that's the whole point, to push past that voice and do it anyway.
And this is really why this method is so incredibly powerful. Every time you do one of these impossible things, you're not just crossing an item off a to-do list. You are literally collecting tangible proof that you're more capable than you thought. You're rewriting your own story, one action at a time.
Yeah, what this really boils down to is that you're gathering undeniable, real-world evidence that the limits you set for yourself were just, well, wrong. You're building a case file against your own self-doubt. And the best part is the long-term effect. You're creating these new reference points in your brain, so the next time you're facing something scary and that little "I can't" voice pops up, you'll have this entire library of past wins to pull from. You can look back and say, hey, I thought I couldn't wake up at 4:30 a.m. either, but I did that for a week straight. So maybe I can do this too.
So all this leaves us with one last question for you to think about. Instead of pouring all that energy into faking it, what if you started building a collection of real proof of what you can do? What's one small, impossible thing you can do to prove yourself wrong, maybe even today?